PMOI or MEK resistance units continue their activities across Iran despite increasingly repressive measures by the regime. In fear of the growing popularity and activity of the Iranian resistance, Iran's regime has been ratcheting up its repressive measures against dissidents, especially people who are associated with the People's Mojahedin Organization of Iran, PMOI or MEK. Among these measures is the upcoming court case against more than 100 members of the PMOI and the National Council of Resistance of Iran, NCRI. The regime had publicized this court for several months. Having failed to destroy Iran's resistance movement and prevent the new generation to join the PMOI's cause, they are setting up another court case in hopes of causing fear in the public. However, not only has the regime's propaganda failed to dismay Iran's youths from gravitating toward the PMOI, but it has steeled their resolve to be part of the movement to overthrow the religious fascism that has taken Iran hostage for its evil deeds. In their latest activities, the resistance units reiterated their commitment to the cause of the PMOI and its leadership. A group of resistance units marched in the hills and held a placard that read, "The head of the snake, Iran's regime, is the perpetrator of any crime." Also in Tehran, a member of the resistance units held a picture of Iranian resistance leader Masoud Rajavi with the message, "The resistance units are the true representatives of the PMOI in the courts of Khamenei." Another resistance units member held a photo of Masoud Rajavi that called for regime leaders to present themselves at an international court to answer for torture and executions and massacre and crimes against humanity. Resistance units also held placards with the message, "Resistance units are the real lawyers of the PMOI." Or in this case they wrote, "Our real court is the court of the people inside our occupied country in our struggle against the hijackers of the sovereignty of the people." Although the regime's threat of using the law against the resistance may appear dubious, it is not entirely unexpected. Notably, 124 former world leaders and 3,600 lawmakers from 40 countries, including 29 parliamentary majorities and representing 61 parliaments, have jointly called for the prosecution and accountability of the regime's leadership for their crimes against humanity. These calls are specifically focused on the 1988 massacre of 30,000 political prisoners. In face of a growing international wave of support for the Iranian people, driven by numerous domestic uprisings and 4 decades of organized resistance, the regime's response has been to summon PMOI members by its judiciary, which is notorious worldwide for its executions and torture. However, the regime has never treated the PMOI according to the law. This is the same regime that executed PMOI supporters in the streets without as much as asking their names. This is the same regime whose former supreme leader, Ruhollah Khomeini, issued a fatwa in 1988 stating that all members of the PMOI should be executed if they remain loyal to their beliefs. Then Attorney General Abdulkarim Musavi Ardebili also declared in 1988 that there was no need to create files for the PMOI as their fate is already sealed. Mohammadi Gilani, a so-called Sharia judge, also ordered, "You ought to execute the Mujahedin on the spot." This regime has proven time and again that the only way to face it is through popular resistance. This is what the PMOI has done for the past 4 decades, and this is what the brave resistance units are doing in every corner of Iran today.
Follow the People's Mujahedin Organization of Iran on YouTube, Facebook, X, and our website.